Well, nice of you to join me. Nice of you to come back again. Glad to have you back. Welcome to Resurrecting the Dinosaurs 4.1. Here in episode 4, I'm going to go back to working some diesels. Had a little fun with that steam engine. I'm still working on getting it to work better. But we're going to go to diesels for a little while now. The venerable old F-unit. We're going to resurrect an AB set of Athearn F7s. These a couple of Baltimore and Ohio units that were sent to me by a friend of mine, just not too far north of Florida. Okay, maybe he's a little closer to DC than I am, but he's kind of like in South Carolina. Anyway, these are beautiful Baltimore and Ohio units. You know, Athearn always did a nice job of painting these, units like this for what it was at the time. What I'm going to do, these are already semi-detailed units. They've already got the handrails and grab irons on them from, say, the Walther's diesel dress-up kit, which is nice. It's also got the window glass in it. I'm going to put the headlight glass in. I haven't decided. I've got a pair of the MV Products lenses that I may use instead to dress her up a little bit. Another thing I'm going to do to dress this, to kind of give this diesel some updated status, the Genesis interior for F units. This is a nice casting. It's a single piece casting. It's not something you have to put together. This is a single one-piece casting. Do a little detail painting on it, and this thing looks great, and it will fit. Possibly I might have to do a little modification, but it will fit. Oh, it goes right in. Yeah, it does. It goes right in, and fits right into the F unit shell. And by so doing that, we'll bring it a little up to date. Another thing I intend to do in this unit, and this is why it's going to take several versions of the episode, or several successive episodes within episode 4 to get this done. I'm going to take and put a battery, a switch, and headlights in this one, and the A unit is going to be the dummy. The B unit was also a dummy. This is how I sent them to me, but I have an extra Athearn drive laying around. I can go ahead and use. I do have an old Union Pacific unit here I'm going to use. It's the old super power drive with the flywheels. Super gear is what I think they called it. And it will fit on it. Another thing we're going to do on these units is we're going to take in between the units. If you've ever worked with Athearn F units before, you know that Athearn F units are notorious when you use standard number 5 KD couplers between them, that they're a good 9 or 10 feet apart from each other. That's a pretty long jump for a guy going from one unit to the next while the train is in motion. That's a pretty good jump if the train is stopped, when you think about it. That little plastic guy, he could fall down in there and get caught by the coupler, get caught underneath the locomotive, and the little plastic guy's dead for sure. Let alone the locomotive would derail. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to eliminate the coupler between the units. I'm going to run a drawbar. Now it's what we would call a semi-permanent drawbar, because what it's going to do, it's going to be a drawbar that is connected to one unit only, probably the B unit, which will be the power unit. And the drawbar will be permanently attached there, but it will have a hole drilled and a screw stuck up with a head cut off into the A unit frame. And by doing that, you just drop the A unit into the slot in the, but it'll bring the two units closer together to where the units are maybe 4 feet apart, just like the prototype. With the units 4 feet apart, it brings your doorways and your diaphragms area much closer together, more like 3.5 feet apart. And then, of course, with diaphragms, if you put diaphragms on them, if you can find them, it closes it off completely. There will be KD couplers on it it will be on the front of the A unit, on the very back of the B unit. And this is a system that can be used with all the F units out there. The Proto 1000 F units have the same problem. I believe the Genesis F units, they use a much shorter shank coupler, and so the units are much closer together as a result. But you don't run into that with the you don't run into that with your standard Athearn F units. They don't bother. And it's the same way on Stewart. It's the same way on several other manufacturers' F units. So, bringing those together is paramount. The unit I'm going to start with is the A unit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop these trucks. This is an older B unit, or an older dummy unit. So it's got these trucks that just clip on, and they're just basic one-piece casting with the wheels that pop in. Very, very simple system. That's probably one of the best dummy trucks that Athearn ever made. As far as rollability is concerned, it's one of the best they ever made. I remember back in the 80s when they came out with their beautiful Blombergs, they wanted to be able to share those across the board, and of course what happened? After that, you never got them to roll freely again. What we're going to do is I'm going to set up the drill press, and we're going to drill holes in the coupler bases here in order to make sure that we've got a good hold on, to make sure I can put the screws in. And of course to obviously put a coupler in. Okay, now that I've got the drill press set up, get a little bit of oil in here so we don't have to worry about wearing out the drill bit too quick or burning up the drill bit. It don't take much oil, just a little, maybe a drop or a smidgen. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill the holes in the coupler pads so that these so that it will accept a 256 screw. That would be the number 4 drill bit in a Dremel kit, Dremel bit set. I don't know what the index number is on that. Okay, that part of it is done. I don't know if I'll need the drill press anymore, but if I do, I'll put it back up here and put it to use again. Alright, I'm going to pop all you gotta do is just pop the trucks back on. And then I'm going to install couplers on this one. It's a pretty simple and straightforward thing to install couplers on these. I'm going to install one coupler. That one coupler is going to be on the front.